I'm the highest in the room. Hope I make it out of here. We ain't stressing about the loot. My block made a case of real. This not the molly, this the boot. Ain't no coming back from here. Little life, a life of me.
Welcome back to episode 26 of Damien and Ross Sports Talk. Ladies and gentlemen, for today's special guest, we have the very talented, the highly skilled, former Florida Gator, former Buffalo Bill, and current Jacksonville Sharks defensive tackle, Mr. Damien Jacobs. Welcome to the show.
Man, appreciate you, man. Appreciate you, you guys for allowing me to be a part of this, man. And I definitely appreciate the introduction.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, man, just tell us how are you and your family holding up during this pandemic?
I mean, everybody good, man, for the most part. I mean, we unfortunately we did lose one family member, but I mean, it could be a lot worse, you know. So I mean, but for the most part, I mean, besides him, I think he might have been the only one that, you know, we personally know that been affected. So I mean,
yes, sir.
Just as well as y'all, man. We just wanted to be over.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Prayers to your family, man. Prayers to you and your family. It. So, man, tell us about the University of Florida, and you know what factors went into your decision.
I mean, the University of Florida, man. I mean, it speaks for itself. It just, you know, just that orange and blue, that Gator, the tradition, the history. It all speaks for itself, and I mean, I like to say that's where the dogs play, because, you know, that's if you ain't a dog, you don't survive. And that's not just, you know, on the field, that's also in the locker room. If you can't cope with some of the things, you know, and some of the things that'll be said to you, some of the criticism, you just never survive. And, you know, I mean, it's just and your other question was just, I mean, I was getting kind of off subject, but your other question was the factoring into the decision. Really, when I took the visit to Florida, I wasn't going. I was going to Tennessee. My mind was made up, and I ended up going to Florida because it just born in Mississippi. So I'm like, I got to get out of here, and I only had a couple of visits left, and they was offering me to come. So yeah, I'm gonna go to Gainesville and have a free weekend. You know what I'm saying? Just get out of Mississippi. And when I got there, things turned totally different. And by the time I left that visit that weekend, I already knew, and I told Will Muschamp that I was going to be a Gator, but I never told Tennessee no different.
Right.
because I didn't want, you know, I wasn't trying. It was already a stressful time. Everybody blowing. I was just trying to ride out into the sunset. I was just going to hit them with it on National Signing Day that, hey, because I was committed. I was verbally committed to Tennessee. Mm-hmm. And I gave Florida a silent commitment, and I tried to ride it out until National Signing Day, but maybe a day or two before, the night before signing day, that's when the Tennessee coaches got word of what was going on, and it was all bad up until I signed them papers.
Right. Well, it is a business, you know. It is a business.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, they, you know, Tennessee had invested so much into the junior college players that they thought they would have had. Another one was my roommate from junior college. It was like, I think they tried to get all of our whole starting four from East Mississippi, which they pretty much had a chance at. And for some reason, we all liked it, but for some reason, everybody went their separate ways on signing day.
Right.
And nobody went to Tennessee. And they was like, wow, you know what I'm saying? So it was like, it was a big blow for their program, to be honest with you. It set them back because they had so much riding on, you know, and it wasn't just us from East Mississippi. It was a couple of other cats from Mississippi Gulf Coast. But we had all went at the same time. It was supposed to be a big thing at Tennessee, and like most of us didn't go. I think one guy out of like 7 or 8 that was committed actually went.
Wow. So, man, you mentioned earlier, you know, about getting out of Mississippi. You know, tell us about, you know, your junior college and what was that life like, and also just, you know, give us the name of your junior college as well.
Well, I played at East Mississippi. We, I mean, we was the first Last Chance Youth. Actually, they come out with another one of the Kansas schools, but we was the first season of it.
Right.
And which it was, JUCO came crazy to me because I don't know if you guys know, but I actually signed with Florida State out of high school. And when I didn't qualify academically, it was pretty much Jimbo Fisher called me and said, hey, I got somebody come and pick you up tomorrow. I'm trying to get some things taken care of with the clearinghouse. So I'm like, Coach, who you got come and get me? He's like, East Mississippi Community College. I'm like, who? He was, I'm dreading these words because I'm thinking the whole time, man, I'm not trying to go to JUCO, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And it was just on Sunday, he called me, Coach picked me up Monday morning. And it was just like that. And it was like, you gonna come here, you gotta, it's 2 days before camp starts. So they was like, either you gotta make the roster or we gonna redshirt you and we gonna hold you here for Florida State until you qualify. So, I wasn't able to sit back and just say like, oh, I'm gonna go to this JUCO since I didn't qualify. I was through in there. But it was a blessing because we won the first national championship in school history there. We had some of the best players to ever play in JUCO come through there, and I was blessed to be able to play alongside a lot of those guys. And I mean, everything happens for a reason. It was the reason why I said get out of Mississippi because I was there for a year and a half. People in Mississippi live a little different. It's a little different, man. So it was a culture shock at first. Then I was like, well, I got to make the best of it. And I was just so excited to leave because East Mississippi is really, I don't know. I mean, y'all probably familiar with Gibson. Right. It's like a school in the middle of a place like Gibson, a community college. So it's like you see the same people every day. You see it's small town country folks, which I'm a country boy too, but it was just time to get up out of there. But like I said, we went out on top. We won the first in school history, and I think they won 5 cents. It was before we went there, nobody was trying to go to East Mississippi because of the conditions I was just explaining to y'all. But now everybody want to go there because the TV show them blew up, and they know that if you want to go to play in the SEC or big time D1, if you don't make it out of high school, East Mississippi probably your best bet.
So from reviewing your film, man, your technique is very sound. Your hand placement, pad level, and eyes are always in the right place. Just give us a little insight on, was this God-given ability, or is this something that you just work time in and time out again to perfect?
A little bit of both. I mean, God definitely blessed me with some tools that, the average cat can't say he walking around with. So I got to definitely give credit to him on that. And I always wanted to be fast, explosive. I just wanted to be fast for my size. I wanted to be explosive. And I mean, I just put in a lot of work in it. And I mean, probably my most natural thing though that makes it all work is I have a God-given hand speed at my size. And I've been told by a lot of people that I probably had the fastest hands they ever seen. And cats in the NFL camp and stuff like that. And that's always kind of just been a natural thing to me. Just hand movement, just body placement. I was just physically strong. That's just natural, just big. So I mean, yeah, it was a little bit of both. It was, you got to work with it. Right. You see a lot of cats who got all the talent, who look like Tarzan, but never put a little work behind it, and it really shows. So it's a little bit of both. I credit definitely a little bit of both of those, some work and some just God-given things.
Right, man. I remember, like we were talking about the other day when you came to HL for the spring, and you were showing us the different things. I'm like, man, because before then I had always heard about you, but I, when you came and actually, I said, yeah, I see why you went to Florida. It was, man, and I thank you, for coming and teach us, man. It really meant a lot, man.
Ain't no problem, man. You're welcome. I definitely want to get back down there more often.
Right.
Because of things like you just said, it's an appreciation, and people just see, I just try to give people just a little taste of what it'll feel like, you know what I'm saying? Or and if you feel like, I think I put y'all through some workouts that day and stuff like that too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you know, it's just the mentality. It's just that was pretty light, and everybody was talking about how they was dying, but you know, it's just I had to get broken too, man. I wasn't comfortable doing that. I had somebody push me to know that I can get more out of myself, and I just want to give back, like especially to you know, we got a lot of the younger kids that's coming up. You know, Big Cat from Terrebonne, #1 in the nation.
Mrs.
D
Smith.
Tackle from
Dog.
D Tackle from HL. I forget his name, but I wanna get down there and work with them boys. Just giving back. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't know if y'all familiar with Robert Miller, but Robert Miller took over as the defensive line coach at HL. Coach Miller played at LSU back in like the probably '90s. And when my sophomore year, I was just raw. I was just big. I was just raw. Coach Miller was like, "Hey, I'm gonna come in here and show you how to be an All-American. You know, so I'm gonna show you how to be smart. I'm gonna show you how to play." And I think from my sophomore year, I probably finished with like 30 some tackles. My junior year, I had like 90 as a D lineman. You know what I'm saying? As a D lineman, so it was like he just taught me how to find the ball and how to get there faster. And I feel like I got a gift to coach these kids because every kid that I do help see a significant improvement in their game, and I'm just good at teaching the game.
So, could you describe to us the rivalry between Florida and Florida State? Could you describe that rivalry for us and what it's like to play, you know, in the swamp as well, but especially during that game?
Oh yeah, that's a big one. It's I've been on both sides of it. We done blew them out. They blew us out. I mean, so it's a big one. It's really bigger than, I mean, if you're not in the state of Florida, you can feel it, but you really feel it even more when you hear it. Everybody either on one or other side. And I mean, since Miami been having they issues, you know, you probably got maybe 15% of the people that are rep them, but it's big, man. It's the biggest thing about it that I seen was it was, you know, of course y'all know I'm from Louisiana, so I knew a lot of these guys because I signed with Florida State, you know, before I got there. So a lot of those guys were in my class, but these guys, they all know each other. They all have played against each other. Oh, he beat me in the state championship my junior year, or you know what I'm saying? And it's like that all carries over. You know what I'm saying? That all carries over into, because you gotta think about it, 90% of those two rosters are Florida bred players.
Right.
90% of those two teams are Florida bred players. So a lot of these dudes played with each other in high school. You know, so I mean, it's big. It's big. It's physical. It's nasty. I mean, I had a couple of cats try to even spit on me during the Florida State game. It's nasty, bro. It get really, really, really intense. And I mean, you just got to be able to control that adrenaline, because if not, it'll get you overexcited.
Right.
My junior year, I got overexcited for that game, and I had a bad game. I was just too jacked up. I was just too excited, and I mean, if you can't find that balance, it'll make you do one or two things. It'll make you play bad, or just make you go crazy. It just didn't work out for me. It didn't work out for me that day.
Right. So, you know, as I mentioned earlier, you know, while introducing you, you played in the NFL. You spent some time in the NFL with the Buffalo Bills. Can you just give us a little insight on what that's like and what's a typical day like in the NFL, I should say?
True league day is a 9 to 5. It's a real deal 9 to 5, and a lot of people don't realize that, because I mean you see it on Sundays and you think, oh, he played one game, and you know but it's a real 9 to 5, man. It's everything that you do is you got to think about, you know, who looking, who watching. You know what I'm saying? The organization got eyes everywhere, so and when I say 9 to 5, probably 2 of those hours you'll actually be doing something physical on the field.
Mm-hmm.
Those other 7 or 8 or 6 or 7, you in the film room. You know what I'm saying? And there's really only so much film you can watch. So for me, being a rookie, I had to become an entertainer, because I was in with a veteran group: Marcel Darius, Mario Williams, Kyle Williams, Jerry Hughes, just a bunch of vets. Even the backups, they was all 6, 7 years in the league, and I was the only rookie around there. And it was whenever our coach would get bored, he would just use me as some kind of source of entertainment, whether I liked it or not.
Right.
And it was just it was tough. It was mentally tough because you got so much pressure on you. I was an undrafted free agent, so every day I'm going out to practice, I'm just trying to keep my job.
Right.
And first and foremost, I want to make sure I don't mess up on nothing. I have no room for error. But you got so much pressure coming out of the meeting room, in the locker room I was in. It was so much pressure in there, bro. It was just it's a lot. I mean, we would finish our meeting 2 hours early because those guys were vets.
Mm-hmm.
And coach wasn't finna talk their ear off about, what he did wrong. But put it like this, if Marcel would go out and do a swim move and make a play on it, it would be congratulations. If I would do it, I would have to run a lap around the field because I wasn't even allowed to use a swim move at all.
Wow.
So every time because coach saw it was my favorite move. So he decided that, well, I'm going to take that away from you and make you get better at something else.
Right.
But when it's natural, if I'm out there practicing, I'm not thinking, I'm trying to win. If I can beat him with a swim move, I'm going to win.
Right.
But I mean, a couple of days after practice, I had like 12 laps because it's 1 lap per swim move for me every day. So I mean, it was a lot, man. It was a lot. It was they were literally just. I mean, the hazing is real. It's real, and it depends on how you handle it. I mean, I done had days where I just like, man, I ain't with this today, but I mean, what you gonna do?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? What you gonna do? You trying to keep your job? You get too mad or try to get physical with one of them, that can have you out of here.
Oh yeah, definitely.
It was literally, man. I was every Sunday or so, I would have to go in and buy, get a list from the defensive line, make sure I had their snacks for the week. You know what I'm saying? It was all type of stuff. And if they ordered 30 things and you forgot one, you're gonna have to go back to the store. That's gonna be that's the talk of the conversation. Man, you forgot come on, bro. You know how much I'm going through here?
Right.
You feel me? So I mean, it's tough, man, but it's everybody's dream. So I mean, I'm still thankful that I was even blessed and fortunate enough to get there. Right. Staying there is the hardest part, which a lot of people don't.
So, who would you say is the best offensive lineman you ever faced, and what was it about their game that separated them from most?
I would probably say I'll probably have to go with Trey Turner, LSU.
Trey Turner from LSU, okay.
Yeah, Trey Turner from LSU. He was, I think he played. Yeah, he with the Panthers now. Trey was a dog, bro. He was a dog, and the reason why I say that is because Trey was the type of, a lot of offensive linemen don't really like to talk to you.
Mm-hmm.
Trey gonna come out and start talking to you, and he gonna, he's gonna start talking to you. He gonna bring it to you, and if you ain't ready for it, he gonna look to embarrass you every chance he get. Right. And that's rare that you see offense, technically sound, can do both run, block, pass, block, and just a dog. He was just a monster. I remember the first play we played LSU, him and Lael Collins came off on me on a double team. And I mean, I ain't gonna repeat some of the stuff they were saying, but I'm like, okay, it's one of these.
Right. Right.
It's one of these. Yeah, these boys coming out here like this on the first play of the game. Yeah, it's gonna be a fight. So I mean, yeah, I always respected Trey. Yeah, me and him still keep in touch. Good dude. I mean, we had a lot of beef in that game, but we, real kind of recognized real after that game, and we've been friends since.
Right, mutual respect.
Yeah, definitely.
So, what recruiting advice would you give? I know you mentioned earlier about Florida State and you was committed to Tennessee. There's a lot of guys who we have on the show, as well as others who may watch the show, that are getting ready to take that next step in their life, which is to enter college football. What recruiting advice would you give them?
I would definitely tell them first and foremost, go off of actions, not off of words of the coaches. I mean, because these coaches going to tell you any and everything to get you to sign that letter. You have to be able to genuinely feel, you can, everybody got a genuine feeling. I knew who, whenever I went, I was blessed to be able to go through the recruiting processes, the recruiting process 2 times. So I actually took 10 official visits where most people get 5. I was able to see a lot of different campuses and a lot of different, just vibes from people, and how whenever you walked in the room, how they felt about you. You can genuinely tell, like, okay, this school is messing with me a little bit more than them. You know what I'm saying? The way I look at it is, no matter, a lot of young kids, they'll jump on the biggest offer, and that might have not been the best place for them. They didn't really evaluate the situation going in front of them. They just was trying to get the biggest offer, and most people think, well, I mean, numbers show that the bigger the school, the higher the chances of NFL opportunity, but there's also a lot of numbers that show otherwise. So you got to make sure that you evaluating the people, how do people treat your family is big. If a coach is recruiting you in high school and he never asks you to speak to your mom or speak to your dad, to me, that's a red flag, because that the family needs to know that for the next 4 years, when my son goes here, or my daughter or whatever goes here or there, that I can genuinely be able to call this guy again and be like, hey, something is going wrong from what you told me what happened. And so, it's weighing that out. It's like I said, it's a feeling that you can just tell. It's just, whenever I took a visit to Alabama, I felt different than how I took the visit to Florida. I didn't feel like Nick Saban wanted me as much as Muschamp did. You know what I'm saying? Whenever I went there, Will Muschamp had everything lined up. Nick just greeted me and kind of treated me like just a guy. Right. So I don't know if that's how he did everyone, but I was like, I don't want to go play for somebody who make me feel like that. Because what if I'm having a tough day and I got to go talk to coach? If he can't give me some kind of support, especially me being so far away from home, then I'm in the wrong place. Right. And I definitely think it's, the kids got to make decisions for themselves. They got to realize that the parents not gonna be there. You can't call mom every time you have a bad day. What's she gonna do? You know what I mean? So you got to make the decision for yourself. I know a lot of cats who went to school because that's where the mom was a fan, or the dad was a fan, or dad went there. You should never force a kid into declaring himself into a situation that you don't have to be in with him. So a lot of the kids got to make decisions for themselves and be open-minded and just be smart, just to make it plain and simple. And also a lot of the kids today, I find a lot of the kids today don't seek advice of people who've been through it already. Right. They think they got it figured out, and it's gonna be situations where it's okay to talk to somebody. It took me a while to learn that too. Probably when I got out of college, and maybe I should start opening up and talking to somebody who probably done this before, because that's the best experience. That's the most qualified person you can talk to, is somebody who's done it and been in your situation. And and a lot of kids just want to figure it out on their own. But like I said, yeah, that's the gist of it, man. I ain't gonna keep going on.
So, what's going through your headphones before games? Is there a favorite rapper or R&B artist that inspires you the most?
I'm on that Gucci man.
Wow.
I'm on that Gucci man at all times, man. It's just I'm going to listen to some Gucci man, but sometimes I might play a few other things. Mm-hmm. Depends on the mood. If I'm trying to get upset, which if I'm not already upset before a game, I'll probably go to Gucci man, something a little bit more, a little bit throwback Gucci man before he was, kind of recreated his image, something that's gonna get me going.
Right.
Yeah, that's mostly what I'm into.
Yeah. Well, that's all the questions I have for you, Mr. Netterfield. The floor is now yours.
So, Big Dame, we all know Saturday it's ball time in college. I'm a big time better. I'm betting on the point spreads, the over and under, everything. You know what I mean? So how does Coach Will Muschamp develop his players to get ready for the game on Saturday?
Coach is a motivator. He's a motivator, and he's a perfectionist type. The Coach Muschamp will find a way to get you going, no matter what he got to say or what he has to do. He's gonna find a way to get you going. And I mean, either way, he gonna find a way to get you going, especially on defense. Because when I was at Florida, both of my years, we were probably top 5 in the nation on defense. That was the strength of our team, and that's his specialty. He's a defensive coordinator, and he was gonna find a way to get us going, no matter if it was, cursing somebody out. Talking about he hit you to the heart sometimes. You got no other choice but to do something, get mad at somebody, and you pick it up. Or he would also do it in another way by rewarding you too. After a win, if you play well, if the team played well, kind of looked out for you on some reps in practice just to make you feel good and refreshed. So it was a multiple ways he would get you going. Definitely, he was definitely a fiery dude. And nobody really wanted to make Champ mad, because when he got mad, it got real bad. So just the passion that we had playing for him, that made our defense go. Our offense, we had some issues over there, but our defense, man, we was always on go. And Muschamp is one of the best recruiters in the game too. No doubt, one of the best recruiters. We probably had 10 defensive linemen. We was 10 deep that could have started anywhere else in the country.
So the time you spent balling hard at Florida, what school was you most excited to play against? And can you please name the quarterback, the running back, and did you get a sack or a tackle for loss against that team?
Yeah, I was definitely excited to play LSU. The first time, me being back I was looking for that. LSU game was circled on the map. Tennessee was circled on the map too, because like I told y'all earlier, whenever they found out I wasn't coming, they fans started to say something. I started to get a lot of messages on Facebook that really upset me about my family, and what I'm saying, it was bad. So I circled that one on the map, and Florida State too. I had them on the map because I didn't like the way that they handled the situation in JUCO, so I was upset with them. What'd you say?
I said you had a hit list.
Yeah. I had some people I wanted to go talk to. You know what I'm saying?
You screwed up.
But the LSU game, you said a sack. Yeah. Matter of fact, yep. I sacked Zach Mettenberg that game. Zach Mettenberg was the quarterback. That was my junior year. I sacked him, and I think, was it Jeremy Hill?
Yeah,
Kenny Hill.
They had a 3-hitter monster. Jeremy Hill, Kenny Hill,
Yeah. I got a piece of all of them. Yeah. Had a pretty good game that game. We beat them that year. I think it was like 13-6. It was a dogfight. Nobody could really get nothing going on offense. It was just one of them true, just SEC battles. And we ended up making a few plays at the end, running the ball, getting the touchdown, and we beat them that year.
Name a time you was faced with adversity, and how did you overcome it?
Football is full of adversity. So, I could think of one specific time. I got a lot of times where I've been faced with adversity in football, but let me see if I can think of one instance that would truly stick out. Okay, yeah, I got one. So going into my senior year, now I'm balling. I'm penciled in. The starting D-line is set. We right in camp. I'm playing the best I've ever played since I got to Florida. I'm playing some of my best football. And I ended up getting probably a week before the first game, I partially tore my PCL. And that put me on the sideline probably for 2 weeks. So I ended up healing a little bit faster than they thought. So I was able to at least dress out for the week 1 game. And coach was like, you'll get like 10 reps. So I'm like, I'm just trying to play. But at the same time, I'm thinking too, the dude who was behind me, he's getting all this valuable reps. You know what I'm saying? So I need to. So long story short, I play against Toledo. I'm like, okay, I'm feeling okay. Coach comes to me next week. He's like, you'll get 20 snaps against Miami. So I'm kind of like, the Toledo thing, I accepted it because I honestly didn't think I would make it through the game anyway. I was just, like, I'm gonna go out there and see what happens. So when I got a little confidence, I'm thinking, well, now I want a little bit more playing time against Miami. But he took me off at like 20. And the biggest part about that was just trying to get him to believe that he was just trying to protect me, but just trying to get him to believe in me that I was good to go again. It took me like 4 weeks. Now, mind you, it's my senior year. I'm thinking about draft stock. I'm thinking about, it's just one of those times where it's like I'm probably had more stress from overreacting a little bit, but now that I'm looking at it, but I mean, in that moment right there, it's like, man, this is like 911 emergency. I got to get back on the field. I don't have another year. I got to get back on the field now. And I mean, everything worked out, but it still was, my whole senior year, it was like some little knick-knack injuries that, that just kind of kept me like, not necessarily on the sideline, but it was maybe like, okay, coach, like you restricted because you just had this happen, and it was just that whole senior year was an upscale battle. And I was finally able to get healthy probably at the end of the year. I was never really healthy, probably week 1 through 8. But honestly, if I was, things would have been a lot different.
So we all know you play for the Buffalo Bills, which is also the AFC East.
Right.
Did you ever get a chance to sack the legendary Tom Brady or ever get close to him? If so, can you please give details how that play went down?
Nah, I never got near Tom. The only time I've been around Tom before, but not in a football uniform. I was actually one of my boys that was playing for the Patriots. I was taking him to practice, and Tom was out there, and we, I briefly spoke with him. It was pretty crazy. Nah, but I never got near Tom. Like, I mean, not many defensive linemen could say they sacked Tom. You know what I'm saying? I mean, over 20 years, you probably could say maybe 100 people might be able to say that, and that's a long. That's not a lot for 20 years. You know what I'm saying? So, one of the biggest moments I would think though is probably whenever I lined up across Eli Manning. That was probably the most. And I'm not an Eli Manning fan or nothing like that, but it was just big name dude, and it was just just seeing that look on his face that you see on TV, like that confused look he got just looking at it on the field. It was crazy. It was crazy. It was like, I can't believe I'm lined up across with him right now.
Right. So, in your opinion, we all know they had expanded the season for NFL players and the playoffs. Do you think that was a good decision by Roger Goodell doing that and the other people that voted on, or do you feel like that was a bad decision that they made because of the players' body as well?
Well, expanding the season is. I got a lot of friends who's still in the league, and of course, it's like a win, but at the same time, it's real tough on the body. They get an extra game check, so that's a good thing. You make a little bit of extra money, but yeah, that one game could be a lot, man, because it's tough. It hurts so much, and every week it only gets worse. So, you got a lot of teams. That's why a lot of teams do take rest at the end of the year. They're trying to cut that one game, and the NFL go and add one.
Right.
It don't really make too much sense to me, especially when your brand is already successful. You don't need to show more games to make more people watch. So it's that was kind of unnecessary if you ask me. I don't really get that one.
Can you explain the team effort it took for your team to win 2 championships in 3 years?
Yeah, it was. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
And what was your team defense ranked?
Both.
Yes.
Both of our championship seasons, we was #1 defense in the league. I mean, arena football is made to score points. So you might see a score that's like 69-40. You know, so it's not rare to see a lot of points getting scored because that's what the game is made for the fans and you know just the quick action. That's what makes the people come. So, but we were still able to be the number one defense in the league. I think we finished with like over 50 plus combined sacks in both years. Ever since I've been here, we had one of the most dominant defensive lines. And I'm not saying, you know, just because of me being here, but I definitely been a good asset to it. But we had one of the most dominant defensive lines. And if you look at our roster, I mean, it's really not hard to see why we have some cats from some big time schools that can play ball here. Like, really can play. You know, and if it was room in the NFL for all of us, we would all be there. But you know, we got Alabama, Georgia, Maryland. We got some big time cats from schools on our defensive line, and we definitely been the best defensive line group in the league. And that team is really, you know, the team is really fed off of us, just creating a lot of turnovers, forcing a lot of interceptions because. I mean, arena football is so fast, but if the quarterback getting choked out every play, he gonna make mistakes because it's not like a 5-step drop. He's going to get hit. If you getting beat, he's going to get hit. A lot of NFL quarterbacks can, you know, just kind of take a bump because it's far away. But in a 3-step drop, if you getting pressure, people are hitting him every play, so he's gonna start getting it out of his hands, and that's what gives our team a lot of success. I mean, this past championship, we faced a lot of adversity. We were down maybe 14 points with 2 minutes left in the game, and we ended up winning by like 6. Yeah, we ended up winning that game by 6. It was I couldn't believe it. One of our we ended up scoring on offense. Then we were down by 7 with a minute and something left in the game. One of our defensive linemen caught a pick and scored. We ended up getting the onside kick and going up and winning. Yeah, so it's definitely an interesting thing. Definitely, whenever we do kick the season back off, I'm gonna shoot y'all a link so y'all can check it out.
Okay. We appreciate that, man.
That's tight.
We really
No doubt.
So I just want to hear a couple of your stats. So within the past 2 years, how many forced fumbles have you had? How many sacks have you had?
Man, I wish I knew offhand, but it's been a good bit. Well, this past season, I think I only had like 2 because I actually hurt my foot in the first game, and I didn't come back until that championship game. I missed the whole season almost last year. But 2018, I was they considered me the most improved player. I got that award, and then I think I had. Well, the league is actually trying to see what to call it because I'm known for forcing fumbles off the snap. And so they're not awarding me the amount of fumbles that I'm supposed to be getting because they just like, well, you know, and they also saying that if you force a fumble, and I'm guessing that's also supposed to be a sack too, if the quarterback, the one that bobbles it. So I mean, they still trying to get some technical difficulties on that. But in 2018, I was the most disruptive nose guard in the league so far as making people fumble. You know, I scored a touchdown. I caught a pick 6 that year. I actually caught 3 interceptions that year, and 1 was a touchdown. I mean, since I've been in the arena game, I've been able to find the ball. Everybody, the defensive lineman asked me how you always end up catching picks. I just know where it's at. You know, and it's tackles wise for defensive linemen, we don't really get many because it's a passing game. You might get 2 runs a game. So, you know, the name of this game is sack. So I think probably in the last 2 years, I probably got about a good 10 total. But my position as a nose guard is not built to get sacks in an arena game. Mm-hmm. It's actually built to be disruptive in the defensive end. Your speedsters come off the edge. But if I can push a pocket like I'm known for doing, the quarterback has to bail, and they one of the defensive ends usually fall on them and take it from me.
Okay. For my last question in this legendary interview, because this interview is legendary, what is your burning desire?
What's my what?
What's your burning desire?
My burning desire, that's a good one. I mean, might have to get back to you on that one, bro. I'm you know, I mean, it's really, man. I'm gonna just be honest with you. You know, I'm using the Lord to try to help me understand what my purpose is to be greater in life. You know what I'm saying? Because no, not to toot my own horn. I'm good at a lot of things, but I need to figure out when to be great at first to see where this journey is going. You know, my football career, I'm about to close the chapter on that soon. And, you know, even though I didn't do 10 years in the league like I wanted to, I've been very blessed and, you know, fortunate, you know, with a lot of accolades that, you know, nothing that, you know, no matter what anyone can say, you know, what he did or didn't do. I mean, I accomplished so many things that I can go to sleep proud of, and I know I made my family proud of, and that'll be written in stone. So, I mean, as you know, as that chapter is coming to a close, now it's like, you know, the real world part is like, that's what I've been trying to figure out. What's my desire, and that almost changes on a daily, man. One day, you know, I'm just playing. One day I want to be a rapper. One day I want to sell cars. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just joking, but you know, for example, that's, you know, I just gotta sit down and evaluate it. Take it one day by day though, because I mean, eventually I'll figure it out. I mean, I don't know all the way yet, but one day I'll figure it out. One day I want to be a coach. No, this is real. One day I want to go. I mean, my junior college, East Mississippi, has been offering me a job there for like the last 4 years, and I don't know if I'm ready to go back to being Mississippi yet. I just don't. You know, the door is open if I want to, but I also want to close the chapter on playing because I don't want to get with the kids. I feel like I'll impact their life so much to where I don't want to have to tell them in January that I have to go and I'll be back, you know. And if I'm gonna go there, I'm gonna be all in. I'm not gonna be player Jacobs. I'm gonna be Coach Jacobs. And you know, once I can know for sure that my heart and desire is done with it, you know, that probably would be the one of the things, one of the avenues y'all end up seeing me in, helping a lot of the kids, and you know, and definitely be in touch because you know it's a lot of people y'all talk to, a lot of people who need opportunity if I was to go that way.
Sure. Man. Well, can you tell us how to follow you on social media?
Damien Jacobs on Facebook. Damien with an E.
Okay.
Hall of Fame Dame. Instead of OF in the of, it's UF. Okay. Hall of Fame Dame. And I just got a new Instagram. About a year now. My Instagram got hacked, but my new one is Birdprint 4D. I lost a lot of followers too, man. I was mad about that.
Oh man, well, hopefully this interview can help you get them back up, man.
yeah, I appreciate it, man.
Man, it's been a pleasure, brother, man. We appreciate you coming on the show, and we thank you, man. And you know, we hope all is well, and take care, man. We appreciate you.
No doubt, fellas. Yeah, I appreciate y'all, man. Keep grinding. I definitely respect it, man. I'll be supporting.
Yes, sir. We appreciate that, man.
No doubt.
Take care.
You too.